pine trees and Norway spruce in all the areas that are untilled. Back there, all the way down here, we've got cranberry bushes right there going all the way down that side. That's first year clover right there, frost seeded. Corn and beans out through that gap. Apple trees all down the edges right there. But what you can see here, what we got going on is creating the ultimate bedding habitat for whitetails. This is a field where I really fed these deer for years with soybeans. Soybeans after soybeans, 20, 30 deer in here a night. And they all wanted to advance and keep going out to those bigger fields. Well, now we have the acreage on the outside there that's all food, corn and beans, clover and corn and beans. But I wanted to create this 3 acres into the best whitetail habitat I knew. So I got a hold of none other than Genesis Wildlife Group, Ray Reeves, and he's like my big brother. And he's a master when it comes to these high bush cranberry bushes and food plot. Kevin provided a couple of the oaks that are in this plot, and then the apple trees that are out there on the edge of that clover. So frost seeded the clover into green monster Egyptian wheat from white gold last year. Frost seeded that clover, it exploded. This field got a lot of water early spring. And what I did, because I am not a tree expert, but I went ahead and got these trees. There's white pines and Norway spruce. I have a tree planter, so I created several pockets like this here, strips down the middle here, 8-foot spacing. I've got more coming down this edge right here. The cranberries like the wetter moisture, which is on the south side of this field. And so we put the cranberries in there. Apple trees love the sunlight through the tubes, the Nut Pro Tree Pro tubes right there. This is all meant to keep all this back here. We did a ton of hinge cutting and opened up some areas. It's already good bedding, just made it better. But if you're still hanging out in this video, you are here because you want to know, how do you get these trees to get a big advance on the first year? Well, one, Genesis Wildlife Group can get you the trees, or I can if you're local. But he suggests to go with the little bit bigger ones so you can see these bad boys. You know, they're not little. They're nice 2.2s. And, you know, first step, if you know you're going to be planting trees, I wanted to create ultimate bedding with switchgrass, fruit trees, nut trees, and pines and Norway spruce. I came in here early in the season, about April, and I had this as a soybean field last year, so it had really good base with not very much weeds competition. So I came in here 2,4-D, Roundup, and Simazine, and that's why everything you see, like in there, that's why everything you see in there is dead, weed free. Okay, now this is going to give me the weed control for the next, I'd say, month or two, which is going to beat a lot of the early cool season grasses. And my goal is to put this in warm season grasses, keep back the cool season grasses so the Simazine won't affect my switchgrass I'm getting ready to put in today. Now we got rains coming, cross our fingers hopefully, but as you can see, in the areas that the trees are, in the strips where the trees are, there's a 3 to 4 to 5 foot, 10-foot barrier around them so that I can mow and I know where my trees are. I did a light till on this field today, and the Simazine that's left is still going to be in the soil, keeping the other seeds from germinating, and it won't affect my switchgrass. So the soil temperatures are up where they need to be, 75, 80. I get a little bit of rain and get this switchgrass in here, I'll broadcast this switchgrass because I don't have a no-till planter. I'll broadcast it and I'll roll it in with my Packer Max, my cultipacker, into all the areas that you see here disced up or tilled. Just using a tiller back there, tilling the ground nice and fluffy. Again, this simazine is going to keep these weeds back. Okay, so first thing you do in the year is get out here and put simazine, Roundup, 2,4-D, get this stuff completely killed and keep it killed, and then put your trees in in a month that has an R in it, which is all early spring. Get them in early. Let them get those rains. These babies got tons of rain. They're doing amazing. There's new growth on them. Some have already grown several inches. I got my apple trees in. I got everything in where I want to be. Now I'm coming in here to the areas that were still simazine, no weeds, and tilling this up. And now I'm going to put switchgrass into it today and cultipack it. So that's just your tip if you want to get a really good stand of trees and be able to maintain them. A lot of guys put trees in, they don't do any pre-emerge, they don't do anything like that, and then they battle for the rest of their, pretty much the tree's life, trying to find them and get them mowed the first year, let them get sunlight. This is the best way I know how. I'm not an expert. I just hang out with some guys that are pretty dang good, like Ray. So Genesis Wildlife Group, check them out. Lock and Load Sporting Goods is where they're out of in Oswego, New York. So check them out. And shout out to my new tractor here, my Case 55. I'm pretty stoked. Central Illinois Ag dropped it off. Super cool, man. Super cool. Even down there, those are all trees. And then I went down between them, but they still got rows that are going to be no weeds in them, so I'll be able to see them. So now the switchgrass goes in. If you're wanting to do this to your property, this is what I do. Chris Brackett's Game Changers Land Management. Big projects like this, food plots, ponds with Herman Brothers, fish stocking, dam building, anything that you can imagine, we can do it. If you're in Central Illinois, we'll travel wherever. If you just want a whitetail consult to turn your place into something like this that's a mecca, it's $2,500 normally to do a visit and a consultation, and you'll get coached on what to do throughout the year to make the plan a success. So yeah, beautiful, man. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. It is beautiful out here, and I hope that rain comes. So all right, Game Changers Land Management, activate. Switchgrass going in.